Hey guys, are you curious about updates on rent-to-own options in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas? Well, this video is for you, and I'm doing an update for November 2023. So if you're watching it in 2023 or the beginning of 2024, this video is still probably current. My name is Elena Garrett, and I'm a realtor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. So out of all the options for the rent-to-own homes in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, I would say that right now in 2023, beginning of 2024, only one is what I would consider reliable and recommendable. And that is called Divvy Homes. And I'm going to pull up their website, so no need to worry how to spell it. So Divvy Homes used to have a really large program that you were able to use to buy almost any home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas and turn it into a rent-to-own program. But the harsh realities of the marketplace forced them to abandon that scenario, and now they're using a different tactic. So the only reliable rent-to-own program right now is Divvy Homes Ready Homes. So Divvy Ready Homes, Divvy Ready Homes, okay? So I'm going to open up their website so you can see their website and how it looks like. Okay. So right now, Divvy Homes, divvyhomes.com, search Dallas. You can pull up and you can see what homes are available for rent to own in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. And if you see, for example, it says 8 or 3 or 2, if you zoom in, it will pull up additional details on those homes. And you can also at a glance see the prices on those homes. Now, the prices on those homes may not tell you much. What's really important is for you on this right-hand side panel to see their monthly payments. So if your monthly payment, let's just say maximum monthly payment is $2,000, then obviously $2,500 guy is not going to work for you, and neither will be this one, although this one might just squeeze in. So this, maybe your home. So you are going to be able to see at a glance which homes are actually affordable. Now, how, if you see a house on this website and you think that you can afford that house, what are your next steps? Perfect question. Your step number one would be to understand if you qualify. How would you know that you're qualified? Divvy has very strict requirements for qualifications. Typically, your first step would be to check your Experian account. If you don't currently have an account with Experian, go ahead and create an account. It is free. Once you create an account with Experian, if you're planning to apply yourself plus your co-applicant, let's just say you have a spouse, have the spouse create an account with Experian as well. That's step number one. Step number two, check your scores. Ideally, your Experian score should be over 600. 600, actually not ideally. Actually, your credit score needs to be above 600. If it is below 600, you can still try to apply, but your chances are pretty slim. So check the credit scores for yourself and your spouse or co-applicant. And if they're both above 600, what do you do next? Well, I'll be honest, the next step would probably be to call and text me before you start applying. Why? So there is a, right now I'm in my portal, I'm an agent approved to work with Divvy. So normally you would see a button that says apply here, but in my case it says agent portal. So what would you do? Instead of clicking on apply right away, I recommend that you call me. Why? Because if you try to apply and you do it incorrectly, or you don't consider some elements of your credit history or credit situation, and you're denied, your response is denied, you won't be able to apply for another 30 days. and that's basically wasted time. So as soon as you determine that your general qualifications, so what are the general qualifications? You need to have a current job, you need to be currently employed, you need to have at least 2 pay stubs showing that you're currently employed making money. You need to be, I would say, if you're making less than 35 to 40K per year, I doubt that any of these properties will be very affordable to you. But let's just say you make more than 40K per year, great. Or if together with your spouse, so your income can be joined, right? So if you're making 20K and your spouse is making 30K, then you're making jointly 50K. Okay. So you need to be employed, and your spouse needs to be employed if they're applying. 2 bank statements if you're self-employed, 2 pay stubs, and if you're self-employed, then 2 bank statements showing your monthly income. And then no convictions for felonies and no recent evictions. So those 4 are the primary ones. Okay. You could be an ITIN user and you could have social security number. To my knowledge, Divvy will still process the ITIN application. Alrighty, so now you qualify, you decide that you're qualified, you text me or call me, and my contact information is in description below. And you say that you're considering applying with Divvy, and then I'll ask you additional questions. And based on those questions, I will either recommend applying with Divvy or recommend waiting and checking on a few other things. If you're applying with a spouse, call me and I will tell you at that time, because if you apply together at the same time, you accidentally can apply in a sequence that will get you denied. So there is many tricks, little tricks and tips on how to use Divvy system to increase your chances of approval or a higher approval. So as soon as you decided to apply, before clicking to apply, text or call me at the phone numbers in the description. Okay, so let's just say I advised you that you go ahead and apply. Once you apply, you will get an application form that will ask you for your social security. If you don't have social security, put in your ITIN number in that space. They're going to ask you for a permission to do a soft pull on your credit. So you're going to get a soft pull, not a hard pull. So your credit score shouldn't be affected by it. When they pull your credit score, they will immediately tell you you might be denied right away, and you will get like a message that, sorry, we deem that your application is not eligible. Or if you're allowed to proceed to the next step, they will ask you about your monthly and annual income. So you're going to have screens about your credit history, screens about your income, screens about your expenses. For example, are you paying child support or any other things that are monthly payments? And then based on your answers to your financial questions, they're going to allow you to do a preliminary budget. So they're going to display a preliminary budget. Now, once you enter your income information, you might again get kicked out of the system at that time, and they will say that, sorry, we cannot proceed with your application any further. You will receive an email from us shortly explaining to you why. Usually in those cases, it just means that your debt to income is very high, and because of that, your application could not proceed because there is no properties that you could afford at that time based on their program. So if you are allowed to proceed, you will be displayed a preliminary budget. And let's just say your preliminary budget could look like you're preliminary approved for $205,000 in this kind of monthly payment. They will ask you to upload your bank statements if you're self-employed, or your pay stubs if you're W-2. Also, they have this very handy portal which you can connect to your bank account, and this will significantly improve the timeline. Instead of taking a week asking you to submit this piece of information, that piece of information, they will just basically go into your bank account, look through the bank statement, get all the info that they need, and then the approval goes a lot faster. So even though initially I had doubts about allowing people to access your bank account. After watching several applicants work with their applications, I do believe that security issues aside, it is a much faster way to process your application. So they'll ask you to connect or for permission to connect your bank information to their portal. And then they will ask you to upload the picture of your driving license. This will be needed for a criminal record check. Once you uploaded everything, you at that time will likely be conditionally approved. Conditionally approved means that they have received enough information to think that you're a good candidate, but they haven't finished approving you yet because your file is now being reviewed by one of their specialists. So there's 3 stages of the approval. One is called applied. Applied means they got part of your information, but they don't have enough information yet to say whether or not you'll be qualified or whether or not your budget will be big enough to purchase one of the homes. Conditionally approved means that pending final verifications, maybe it is your background check, maybe they're waiting for some documents from your bank statements if you haven't submitted your bank statements yet. But they have enough information to believe you'll be okay, and they give you a preliminary budget, but they're waiting until those pieces of information to finalize their decision. And then fully approved. Fully approved means once you get the fully approved status, you're now ready to shop on Divvy website for the homes that they currently have on their website. So Divvy Ready program is pretty fast. I have had people apply, let's just say at 10 o'clock in the morning, connect their information, their bank information to the Divvy portal, and then both them and their spouse be approved by 3 p.m. So it could happen as quickly as one day. And for some other couples, especially if you're self-employed and they need verification of your state, of your income, they might need verification that you actually own the company that you're claiming to own, etc., etc. So just depending on your situation, W-2s tend to process faster and self-employed tend to process longer. But let's just say 1 to 5 days and you could be approved for a specific budget. How would a specific budget look like? So for example, let me show you one of my clients who recently got approved. So this is the approval page, at least this is how I see it from my side. Now, if you use the information that I provided, and if you put me as your agent on the application, I will see the progress of your application in my portal, and I will be able to coach you and give you tips on how to overcome the obstacle that might come up during your application process. And if I see you in my portal, then I see additional requirements that sometimes are posted, and I might or may not be able, just depends on what your situation is. I might or may not be able to give you just a little bit more of a push to get you over the operational or procedural difficulties that Divvy is having a hiccup with. So anyhow, this is how I see your progress through the application process. Application started, pre-qualified, conditionally approved, fully approved. When you're fully approved, you receive a monthly budget, and it will look like this. Monthly budget means that they believe that you can spend no more than $5,600 or so per month on your monthly payment, and you can shop on Divvy Homes for homes that are no more expensive than this amount. So this is your top approval amount. So now what to do after that? Now that you've been approved and you know your maximum budget range, you can go to Divvy's website and you can start looking at homes in the area. So let's just very hypothetically say that you're looking to buy in the Dallas area. So you know that this house is $425K, which is within your approval amount, because your approval amount, according to the previous screen, is $466. So this home would qualify this home would qualify, both of these homes would qualify, and so on. Do you see how easy it is to identify homes? So on this particular screen, pretty much all homes are qualified for that budget. So what to do once you qualified for the home, once you qualified for a budget and you are seeing a home that you're actually interested in visiting. Before you do anything, again, call me. If I'm not assigned to your case yet, call me and let me know that you're interested in one specific house that you'd like to visit, or a couple. And then I will start taking care of arranging a visit. So the stages of you finding a house are as follows. You identify the house or multiple houses that look good to you. You let me know the addresses of those homes. I call Divvy and verify. So just because you're seeing the house here doesn't mean that there is no pending application on this house yet. I call Divvy as their agent and I make sure that the houses that you're inquiring about do not currently have a pending application. Also, I will double check with the Divvy personnel to make sure that the homes are still eligible for you, specifically you, to apply for those specific homes. Once the eligibility and availability is confirmed, I ask Divvy Homes to provide me codes, access code, for a key panel that they have on the door, and they will send me the access code for each of the homes. Then you and me, we go visit the houses. I walk through and I highlight for you anything that I believe is of concern. So if I see cracks in the wall, maybe I see that the AC is not in good shape. Maybe I see some changes of elevation in the floor. Maybe I think that the bathroom is too small and you might have a hard time enjoying this home or reselling it in the future. I will highlight those items. I want to make sure that you get the same advice and the same experience as if you were shopping for homes with a pre-qualification letter from a lender. I want to make sure that before you spend even a cent on any of these homes, you receive my full advice on whether or not this home is a good location, good condition, good resale value, and overall a good purchase for the amount of money that you're about to spend. Okay, so we visit the home. So first is I call Divvy and make sure homes are available and qualified. Number two, we set up the time, we go visit the homes. Number three, I give you my assessment of each home and advise you which one of them, the one that fits your budget, which one of those that fit your budget would potentially be the best choice in terms of maintenance, future maintenance, resale value, etc., etc. Once you tell me which of the homes that we visited you like the most, I then call Divvy and I start the process of getting you applied for that specific home. I will submit request to Divvy, Divvy will process the request, and then the clock will start. So once I submit the application, it will be a matter of about 2 to 3 days for you to receive the full package of the documents that are called occupancy proposals. So let's just say you told me you like this home, and I'm just taking this home as an example. Let's just say you told me you want to apply for this home. I ask you which of these options, so those are the options for payments and down payments for this home. Based on your pre-qualification, you will have an option of either flexible saving plan, 5% saving plan, or 10% saving plan. We want to know what you required or what options for your payment plan will be available. Now, if you don't know what the payment plan is or what the payment or what the saving target, and I'm so sorry, I said it incorrectly, not payment plan, saving plan. So your saving plan is something that I explained in another video, and I'm going to just point you to the video about saving plans in the description that will be posted below. So we select your saving plan, and sometimes your saving plan is 3 or 4 options, and sometimes it is just 1 option. But once you select your saving plan, then I call Divvy, I initiate the application, and then assuming that the house is still available, they send you 2 emails. One email is going to be requesting an initial payment of $500. The initial payment of $500 is almost like a small deposit that shows them that you are a serious applicant, because up to now, all this process of you applying, of us looking for a home, was completely free of charge to you. Only when you select a home and you decide to apply for a home, only then do they ask you to make a deposit. And that deposit is basically allowing them to say that, hey, this person is serious. We now need to include the underwriting team into the conversation, and the case is sent to underwriting. So your case is sent to an underwriting team. The underwriting team sends you a letter asking for a deposit of $500. It's a deposit that will be applied toward your down payment later, so don't worry. Once you pay this $500, once your application is processed, you will not lose that money. The underwriting team sends you the request for $500. Once you paid $500, they send you an occupancy proposal. Occupancy proposal outlines approximately what your monthly payments are going to be for year 1, year 2, and year 3 of the process. Now, if you don't know how Divvy process works and why it's a 3-year process, there's another video that I'll ask you to watch, and it's also going to be in the description below. But anyhow, they'll send you an occupancy proposal. Once you sign an occupancy proposal, you're in a game. Now, this home, let's just say that you applied for this home. If you applied for this home, you signed the occupancy proposal, and you paid your $500, this home will no longer be visible on the main Divvy site, so nobody else can apply for it. Make sense? So once you pay your $500 and you sign an occupancy proposal, they will send you a request for payment of your down payment. So what would be your down payment in this particular scenario? So this specific home is $380,000. So my calculation is that this one, 380 multiplied by 0.2 is going to be $7,600. So Divvy is going to send you a bill saying that we need you to pay your down payment or initial payment of $7,600 for this specific property. Now the property is 400,000, 300,000, 200,000. You do your own calculations for 2% of the property of the purchase cost. So what do your financial look like? First, you spend $500. That's just to move the file from application team to the underwriting team. 2, once you sign the occupancy proposal, you're asked to pay a down payment of let's just say 2%. Now, because you already paid $500, instead of paying, let's just say for this home, $7,600, they're going to say pay us $7,600 minus $500. So that initial $500 is being credited toward your down payment. Once you send them the down payment, after that, typically within about 9 days or 10 days, you can already move in. So once the down payment is paid, literally like 1 week to 2 weeks, and you can pick your move-in date, and your monthly payments will start from there, and then you can move in. All the houses will be vacant, all the houses will be clean, and they will be ready for you. So what else? So what is the total time investment? Let's just say that your monthly or your rent is currently coming to an end. You need to either renew your rent to decide where to go. How long would it take for you to find a rent-to-own home? I would say, depending on whether you're self-employed or W-2, from 1 to 5 days for an application. Let's just say that once you applied, within the next 3 days, we already have the outcome. Let's just say that 7 days, no, it's 5 days for an application. 5 to 7 days for an application. And then once you find the home that you're looking for, then once you get your budget, then it's just a matter of, are there enough homes right now available for you to choose one right away? Or do you need to wait to see if a home in an area, let's just say that you wanted to rent specifically right here, but right here, it's an expensive area, I'll just say right here. But right here, there are currently no homes available from Divvy. So you either have to pick an area that's not currently available, or you have to wait for that area to become available. Once you find the house that you're looking for, you go and you view the house. Then 1 to 2 days, you get your occupancy proposal. And then just depends on how quickly you pay your $500 fee and then your 2%. And then within about 10 to 14 days after that, you can move in. So I would say 3 weeks. 3 weeks should do it, assuming that the home in the area that you're looking for is available and is within your budget. There's quite a bit of more of information, like how does Divvy work? How do I actually get the house? Is the house in my name or in Divvy's name? How do I purchase the house back from Divvy? Do I need to apply with the lender to purchase the house back from Divvy? All of those questions are not something that I'm going to cover in this specific video. So this specific video is just to give you an update of how the process works in 2023/2024 specifically. I'm going to post links to my videos that I've created in 2022. Watch them. Most of the information there in those videos is still accurate, specifically in those links that I post in this video, with the adjustments for 2023 that I just mentioned. Okay, I hope that was useful and not too long, and I'm sorry I tend to be long-winded. My name is Elena Garrett. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. I am fully approved and very experienced with Divvy home applications. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you at the next video.